Hey, I'm James C. Locker, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. Earlier, well, actually, yesterday afternoon, I had one heck of an experience out there. It was like some major thunderstorm activity coming right through. Um, well, a tornado had touched down probably about less than 2 miles from where I live at. Um, wow, it's like about 15 minutes before all this stuff started really getting really bad. Um, my power was shut out. Like, well, my power didn't. It was like really dark up there. I'm looking outside and I'm seeing like heavy lightning, and I'm starting to see like a bunch of hail come through. I'm like, okay, maybe some power went out like that. Well, it wasn't that major, and then the sky, it started, it started getting really grayish, greenish light. I'm like, wow, this is like far out. And it started getting really dark too. So, and wind started kicking up, and I'm starting to see like rain, swirling around like in a circle, and I'm over here in my apartment building, and I'm out in the middle of the, hall, and I'm trying to make phone calls out to friends to see what's going on. Man, my phone was, having this busy signal like bang, I'm like, oh, this can't be good. So, and next thing you know, I'm starting to hear these doors, hear doors in the complex, sounded like they're getting sucked out, sucked out out to the outside. And man, wind started kicking, and it was like really, really dark. And it's like, wow. I'm over here with my flashlight, my iPod. I'm over here looking into my door, and I'm just hearing my, outside of my door, sounding like, it's getting sucked out. I'm like, oh crap. And I'm like, wow, this is some scary stuff right here. This is like the most frightening stuff right here. And I'm sounding, and I hear something in the faint background, something that sounds like a freight train. I'm like, wow, this can't be good. And I'm like terrified. I'm like standing there terrified, frozen. Got my iPod camera over here. I'm looking in a way, multitudes of emotions going right through my head. I'm like not able to rationalize. I was like completely terrified, I'm like completely terrified, come to think about a little bit later. And I'm over here, power's out, looking on my phone. My phone's really not getting any signal. I'm trying to, ascertain what's going on here. I'm like terrified. I'm hearing multitudes of emotion. I'm frozen in place out in the hallway, listening to these, listening to like my doors sounding like they're gonna get sucked out. I'm like, wow, it was crazy. Come to find out, probably about 15 minutes later, probably 15, 20 minutes later, that I found out a tornado had touched down over off of Lake Wheeler Road on exit 298 off of 40. Around this, pretty much, I'm just reading the after results, like devastating Shaw University and other locations around. It was crazy. It was like really, really crazy. Nothing like I heard about it again. I don't know. Given a chance, I go through that again. Yeah, I probably would. I just wanted to get a shot of that tornado, but it sounded like it was forming like overhead me, and then pretty much it sounded like it was forming overhead, the door. I'm like, well, I'm making phone calls, multitudes of phone calls. I'm like terrified out of my mind. It's an experience, and really, really, really experience. Like I say, this is my first indirect, contact with the Twister. It was crazy, very crazy. Given a chance to do it again, no, I probably would. Pretty fun. Not fun, terrifying, just like a roller coaster. But it was very terrifying. Very, very terrifying. Multitudes of emotions going through my mind. Wow. Well, anyways, hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully, if I have another experience, I'll be back on here again. All right, you have a nice day. Peace.